but we do. And then we get people to the polls on election day. There is not a sound and successful election campaign in modern times that can be all about just raising money in order to develop a relationship with voters through 30-second ads in the last couple of weeks of the campaign. This has got to be people to people, which means it's got to be about you and by you for us all. That is why I am certain that our nominee should be the next United States Senator. And I ask you all to give him not just a warm welcome, but your work, your heart, your caring for the days and weeks ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, the next United States Senator from Massachusetts, Ed Markey.
Ladies and gentlemen,
go get him, Ed!
Woo! My name is Ed Markey, and I am running for the United States Senate. Do we not have, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest governor in the entire United States of America? Deval. He just makes us so proud to come from our state. He has our unemployment rate lower than the other industrial states. He has a vision of the future in clean tech, biotech, telecom tech, healthcare, and education. And he has a vision of inclusiveness, that everyone's going to make it, that everyone is part of this state and this country. And it's my great honor to be a friend of Deval Patrick. It's my great honor to be introduced by this great man this evening. I thank you, Deval, so much. The Reverend Ayanna Presley, okay? She does know how to preach politics better than just about anybody, and I thank you, Ayanna, for everything that you're doing for me. And ladies and gentlemen, we also have here with us tonight the greatest chairman of any Democratic state party in the United States, John Lewis. The message that we are sending here tonight is that Democrats do not agonize. Democrats organize. And we are going to win this election. My allergies hit this morning. Hay fever arrived. Spring is here. Spring is here in Massachusetts. So I am running for the United States Senate because I believe that a woman has a right to choose. I believe that a woman should make more than 77 cents on a dollar to do the very same job. I am running for the United States Senate because I believe that assault weapons and the magazines that attach to them do not belong on the streets of the United States. The only technology that should be near a child in a school is a computer and not a gun. The NRA, the National Rifle Association, its name has to be changed. NRA has to stand for not relevant anymore. I am running because the LGBT community is entitled to protections under the 14th Amendment of the United States, and one of my proudest votes in the United States Congress was 17 years ago when I was one of only 67 out of 435 that voted no against the Defense of Marriage Act 17 years ago. I am running for the United States Senate because the planet is running a fever, but there are no emergency rooms for sick planets. We have to unleash a green energy revolution of wind and solar and biomass and geothermal, of plug-in hybrids and all-electric vehicles, of buildings that are twice as efficient as the ones that we construct today, appliances twice as efficient. We should be the leader. The governor has now created 70,000 green jobs here in the state of Massachusetts. We should be the leader. Massachusetts is the brain state as well as being the Bay State. We have to unleash the potential of our people here in Massachusetts and across our country to develop these new technologies that will solve the problem of climate change, that will back out imported oil from OPEC, that will reduce the dangerous greenhouse gases while creating hundreds of thousands, if not millions of jobs across this country. And Massachusetts should be the leader. And we need to go down to Washington to ensure that we fight for those jobs. I am running for the United States Senate because I think that sequestration is just a very fancy word for mindless cuts to programs that invest in education, invest in biotech, invest in clean energy jobs. It will lead to a 60,000 job loss here in the state of Massachusetts, including more than $110 million in cuts in NIH grants this year. That's at the heart of the governor's plan for making Massachusetts the leader in the world on biotech, on research. We cannot allow sequestration to continue. We need someone to go to Washington who will fight against these mindless cuts, and I intend on winning this race. I am running for the United States Senate because I want to make sure that we in Massachusetts are the leaders in campaign finance reform. Yes. To the credit of Scott Brown and Elizabeth Warren, they signed an historic agreement in 2012 to keep out the tsunami of politically polluted money that swept across the rest of the United States. Gabriel Gomez is saying that he will welcome that money into our state. He will not sign the pledge to keep it out. It made Massachusetts an oasis of political sanity in 2012. I am running for the United States Senate because we need to pass a constitutional amendment to overturn Citizens United versus the Federal Election Commission. My father grew up in Lawrence on the first floor of a triple-decker, the fourth of 5 children. He graduated from the vocational program at Lawrence High School. After the 5th of the 5 brothers and sisters passed away, my Aunt Markey, a few years ago, I went up to ring the doorbell on Phillip Street in South Lawrence to see who lives there now on the first floor of the triple-decker in the shadow of the mills. And the door opened, and it was a Dominican family with their children. And the accents were different, but the aspirations clearly the same for that family. On the first floor of that triple-decker. And the son of someone who grew up in that triple-decker is running for the United States Senate because a lot of work had to be done from Franklin Delano Roosevelt on to ensure that there was a greater democratization of access to opportunity through education, through healthcare, through the breaking down of discriminatory barriers that had existed within our country. So I'm running to make sure that those kids on that porch in Lawrence, and kids on every porch, in every city and town, in Massachusetts and across our country, have an opportunity to make the 21st century even more educated, more healthy, more clean, and more fair than the 20th century was. That's our responsibility in this election, to send a message to Washington, to send a message to America, that what Massachusetts wants is that vision of ensuring that this inclusive philosophy, which the governor embodies, continues to grow and expand beyond the boundaries of Massachusetts. And that we not forget how we all got to be in this room, how many changes the Democratic Party has been able to make over the years that did democratize this country. Our job is not done. Your job is not done either. This election is a referendum on the second term of Barack Obama. It's a referendum on whether or not Massachusetts wants to send someone to Washington to partner with Elizabeth Warren to help the Obama administration create this vision for our country. I'm your